Yeah. This is my moment to shine. This is my time for flight. I've been grinding forever just for this very night. I've been pushing for many moments like this. This time is undervalued and no one ever could miss. This is my chance, moment of bliss. My feelings so enchanted. Many could understand it. These skills out of the planet. Be careful, I'm out for landing. The future is mine. Taking it all by design. Knowing so much on the line.
And welcome back to another episode of the Perfectly Be podcast. I am your host, TJ Purcell. Mr. Purcell, People's Champ Purcell, your favorite person's favorite person, TJP. And flying solo today. Just wanted to give you guys just a quick little, although a couple weeks late, story of my life. I just wanted to give you guys a couple of just little tidbits about our family trip to New York. What a week. Birthday week, and in all seriousness, could not have asked for a better week with everything that turned out, even given weather and different things that happened. But I'll go over all that here for you now. Before I start, please be sure to like, subscribe, tell 5 friends to tell 5 friends. If you want to just hit play and just have it just repeat all the time, it looks really good for the optics. My sponsors, namely me, would appreciate that, and my wife and my dog also sponsor right there. We need the assistance, so thank you. But first, let's see. This was the first time that all the core four, as we call ourselves, have all been together since February, I believe. And then before that, it was Christmas. And so we don't get a whole lot of time to spend with each other as a family. So that was good. Our oldest, Nikki, came up the day before to travel with us. But listen, okay, before anybody says anything, yes, we drove from Tallahassee to New York. And yes, we drove from New York to Tallahassee. We made plenty of stops on the way. It was not one fell swoop. First of all, I am not a man. I am not 40 anymore, but I am 41. And my body sitting in the car for 12, 15 hours. Nah, I can't do that anymore, fam. I'm sorry. Nope. So we made plenty of stops. So we stopped in Savannah on Friday. We left Friday. This is the 23rd. And then you guys know how much of a Florida State fan that I am. And for those who don't know the levels of fandom that I have, I don't think I have missed a live game. The last one that I could remember that I missed a full live game, I was refereeing, so this had to be 2009, maybe. And I remember I had a migraine and I came home from refereeing and they had a night game and I just fell asleep because I could not keep my eyes open. That's that's 14 years ago, people. I have seen every snap, every game, every year. Um, by the way, I should be able to monetize that into a job with the athletic department. So there's that. But anyway, I say all that to say, Saturday, I asked my wife to drive the first shift while I sat on the back in the back seat and watched with headphones our biggest game of the year so far, Florida State versus Clemson at Clemson. I actually really tried to get her to take a little detour from Savannah so we can go to Clemson. We went to Clemson 2 years ago. So we could just go up there and just go to the game since it's there. But Nah, it was too far out of the way. But I got to witness an ugly but fantastic feeling when we beat Clemson, and I got to enjoy it in the back seat. I almost made my wife wreck a couple of times due to yelling. Um, and I got to see an iconic play that will forever live in Florida State's memory, in history, not memory. They're not dead. In the history of Florida State. But okay, so we drove. We ended up staying. So this is where part of the trip gets a little bit weird. Unbeknownst to us, before we planned this whole thing out, I say we loosely because it's mostly my wife who planned this. But when it was discussed many moons ago, and even the day of, we didn't know we would be traveling behind a tropical storm. So we were pretty much riding the coattails of a tropical storm till we got to our stop in Richmond, and we stayed at a very culturally diverse Airbnb. I wish you could have enjoyed that place. That place was actually really cool. Then we woke up, got breakfast, um, and then ended up going to New York. And so the whole point, not the whole point, but the majority of this trip, our youngest did not know that our daughter was coming with us. And we almost would have got away from it too if it wasn't for those pesky kids and that meddling dog. Well, now, speaking of meddling dog, um, but we were at a gas station 4 hours away, and it slipped out, and the surprise was over. But nonetheless, so we ended up making it to New York. It's good to see Edward, good to see Alex. Um, why am I blanking on their dog's name? Good to see their dog's name. Oh, Tempura, Sephora, Tempura, something. So anyway, we made it up there, and so in talking with Edward before, he was saying how there is a casino right next to their where they live. Okay, cool. So, okay. A theme of this is using terms loosely. I already said earlier I used the term we loosely. My wife planned the whole trip. I'm using the term casino loosely because if you didn't know, this casino looked like a Michaels, or should I say a Burlington Coat Factory. It was attached to the mall. I wanted the dramatic pause for that. It is attached to the mall. You can leave the casino and go get Sbarro's Pizza, go get a haircut, and then come back to the casino because it was attached to the mall. But it did have slot machines and it did have a casino vibe. So, and in our casino trips, we like to get free stuff. So we signed up for the program, $10, $20 of free slot play. Sign us up. So we got to go to the casino. That part was good. We got to go, trying to think the days in which we did stuff. We went casino Monday because that was just kind of a get right day. And then Tuesday, one of the greatest days in US American history, the day this beautiful creation was made. We got to go to Jersey. And so if you haven't been to Jersey, there's a mall, the American Dream. Ironic. It's the best mall I've ever been to. That's including Sawgrass Mills down in Fort Lauderdale. That's including, I don't know, outlet mall. I don't know those kind of malls. This is a 4-story mall with a ski lodge, a Ferris wheel, I'm gonna say 2 food courts, a Best Buy. And I'm trying to not delve into the stuff that we did for later, but an amphitheater, a grocery store in the mall, and it's right next to MetLife Stadium. So it's cool to see the stadium and then go to the mall. And so on the actual birthday, we got to do a lot of things that obviously I wanted to do. It was my birthday, but we got to do an escape room. It was all 4 of us. They had one of those in the mall, and not a janky escape room, like an actual good escape room. It's one of the ones we've done in Jacksonville. It's the same company, so the designs are good. The thought is good. It's challenging. Um, Sorry if I keep going back and forth. My dog is apparently addicted to this toy. And so, as all 4 of us, we got to use our skill sets and conquer this escape room. Don't want to go too depth in the actual escape room because I think that's going to be one we are reviewing soon. But needless to say, escape room number 44, I believe, and we escaped, so that was fun. I had an Oreo cafe in this mall, which was fantastic. There's a roller coaster. There's the theme park in this mall. The roller coaster was closed. Um, but then the next thing we decided to do is we decided to play putt putt golf because there was an 18 hole. There's actually 2 of them, but we played. There was an 18 hole Angry Birds putt putt golf in the mall, so we got to do that. Fun times. Do a shot. Your boy took it home, and just a good family time. Also, I got a cheap hat, which is shout out to Mr. Met right here. I like to get hats of places where I probably won't end up going back. So I've always been a Mr. Met fan. So I got this at the mall there for $20. Thank you, Clarence. And I just got to really enjoy Jersey. Um, It was a fun time. Traffic is traffic, but fun time. Listen, I'm trying to record. Wednesday, we got to go. Okay, sorry, let me go back. Let me back up. So, initially on the drive up, we were going to stay in Richmond and then leave early. And I was going to go to a baseball game in Washington, and then go to New York after that. Because of the tropical storm, that game was canceled, so I did not get to go to Washington Stadium. I have this thing where I want to go to every major league stadium, whether it's a tour or to watch a game. So that's kind of why I did that. Fast forward, Wednesday, we got to go to the city and we decided which of the 5 boroughs to go to in New York City. And we ended up going to the Bronx because I wanted to go to Yankee Stadium. Shout out to um, my cousin, who's a big Yankees fan. Jamie, always right there. Shout out to Adam, my best man at my wedding. He's a huge Yankees fan. It was just cool to see the stadium, cool to see the experiences, see Monument Park. That's good. I get to cross off Yankee Stadium off a list. And then we took a subway. So I have been on a subway. I'm going to guess my wife and my daughter will not go back on a subway. But you could say you experienced the New York subway. So that was cool. And we took a subway to Manhattan. We got some food there, went to Central Park, and Got to see Radio City Music Hall. Got to go to a Nike store. I tell you what, if I knew the plan before, you can design your own Air Force Ones at the Nike store. Definitely doing that. Definitely need to do that. We went to FAO Schwartz. Went to Lego store. By the way, I understand it's the city, and I understand everybody's got to hustle, but I don't know. They're not. Oh, I'm gonna offend somebody. They weren't monks, but they were something. And one of them came over and put beads on my wrist and said, "Thank you, thank you." I'm like, "Cool. I got beads." Then my man hit me up with, "We take donations," and wanted me to pay him for something that he put on my wrist. And I was like, "Nah, man, I don't have that on me." Then he took it. Then he took it off my wrist, kept it moving. I don't know what kind of business practice that is, but yeah, that happened. But if that's the worst thing that happened to me in New York streets, cool. Uh, Thursday, we got to go to a park, take some family photos, some updated family photos. So that was fun. And then we left Friday. Of course, Friday we left before the rain advisory, the flood advisory that happened in New York that shut down travel. So we got out of Dodge right before that. And we stayed in Baltimore, where my wife and daughter got to go to the live casino in Baltimore, and I got to go to an Orioles game. So another one off the list. Beautiful ballpark, great atmosphere. And then we ended up driving home. Good conversations, good week, good times, and it was great. Now, there's one very, very important part that I left out. The only downside of this trip, I will tell you right after this break. And welcome back to the Perfectly Be podcast. I'm your host, TJ Purcell. We just concluded the New York trip. On the other side, I left you with the one bad side of this trip. Okay. Toll roads. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you we probably are going to get billed for $130 of tolls. That's how much it costs to drive. And you don't really have an option because there's these big ass rivers that have bridges, and the only way to get across the river is on the bridge. So you know what they do with that demand? They're like, "Oh, we got limited supply, one road. We got a bunch of demand, people with cars. We're going to charge them." Every state had a flipping toll. All of them. So we got through Maryland, and on the tip of Maryland to go into Delaware, toll bridge. Got to Delaware to go to New York, go to the turnpike, 3, 4, 5 tolls. Get off of that to go to another turnpike, more tolls. To get to the city where my son lives, more tolls. To go to Jersey, more tolls. To go to New York City, tolls. To go get a slice of pizza, tolls. So many tolls. And it's not like there's an option of like, so normally you have an option of like being in the express lane or just driving on the free interstate. There's no option of free interstate up there because Interstate 95 just turns into a toll road. You have no choice. And so I will say the next time, if there is a next time, first off, I think we've driven. I am using my I'm flying card. Even still, if I fly an Uber from the airport, it's going to be probably $200. The market will bear. But I will say, I will get an Easy Pass and just load up a month's worth of tutoring on there so that we can drive free. So many tolls. With that being, I don't know who that is. With that being said, the whole trip was a success. I'm so glad I got to see my family. So glad to be around the core four, and just the growth in everybody and what they're doing and how they are. I'm so proud of my children. I'm so proud of who they are as adults. I'm so proud of their partners who they've chosen. And babe, I'm proud of us. I'm proud of you. And hopefully we can have another shorter family trip in the future. Sorry. I'm proud of Courageous too, even though he's on crack with his toy. But no, it was a fun trip. It was a fun trip. We definitely need to do that more often. With that being said, that concludes this episode of the Perfectly Me podcast, sponsored by the Purcell Project. Cheap plug. Stay tuned. Next time, I believe we're going to get back to our escape room tips and tactics. And then after that, start going to escape rooms and just reviewing them based on what we choose. And that means my beautiful tag team partner will be here with me next time. Hopefully my dog won't be on crack with his toy. And with that being said, like, subscribe, comment if you've been to New York, if you've had other places we should go to in New York. Feel free to leave them in the comments, email, on our Facebook. And with that being said, listen, enjoy, share. We'll talk soon.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look.